Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw, editorial director at TigerFitness.com and Muscle and Brown Nutrition CEO. Today I want to talk about something very personal. I want to share my story, what I've been through the last 8 years, how I've come to be editorial director at TigerFitness.com, how I started up a website called muscleandbrawn.com when I was at my low point in life, and how it led me to this. Now don't click away, this isn't one big long commercial for my new supplement line, but I want to talk about how I got here, because I haven't really shared my story. A lot of you don't know me, don't know where I've come from, so that's what this video is about. It's going to be a little bit long, but stick with me. If you're feeling a little bit down in the dumps, you feel like you have no direction in life, you feel like you can't achieve what you want to achieve, you feel like I just am stagnating in life, I don't know how to take control, I don't know how to take charge, I don't know how to do something I love, you're depressed or whatever about your career, just listen to my story. I hope it'll help you out a little bit. Some background: in 1986, I went off to college at New Mexico Tech. I was a bright kid, near perfect scores in math and science on the ACT and SAT. I ended up going to a college called New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology, which had the VLA, which was the Very Large Array. If you've ever seen the movie Contact and all those satellite dishes, that was at my school. It was one of the top astrophysics schools in the country, and I attended that school. I was going to study astrophysics and mathematics and computer programming. I'd been programming for about 8 years at that time. And I went off to school with the best of intentions, but a crazy thing happened. This crazy thing was called bodybuilding. Bodybuilding became my curse, and it later became my blessing. Now let me explain. In 1986, when I went off to New Mexico Tech, it was a small campus. It was in the middle of nowhere. There was no women on campus. There was nothing to do. There was this little small weight room, and it was equipped with barbells and dumbbells, a squat rack, leg press. No one was ever down there. So I would go down there with nothing else to do. I'd go to the gym, play a little basketball. Then I'd go to the weight room and start training. Well, guess what happened? I took a love. The love of the iron bit me. The iron bit me. The iron bug bit me hard. And during the next year, I'd buy every bodybuilding magazine I could. Back then it was Muscle and Fitness and Iron Man and I believe Flex and whatever else was out, Muscle Media or whatever it was called back in the day. I bought all the magazines. I bought all the books, and I just dedicated my life to bodybuilding. I was doing the regular meals, getting my protein in, and quite frankly, my results were phenomenal. I was attacking the iron, I was progressing, I was making great progress, but I became so obsessed with bodybuilding and recovery and meals that I started skipping classes to get my meals in. I started sleeping in more to get my recovery, because muscle building became more of a priority to me in college than my classes. Recovery was more of a priority, meals were more of a priority, and training was more of a priority. So guess what? After 2 years at New Mexico Tech, my grades started to suffer, and they told me to get lost. I couldn't continue to afford what I was paying to go to a school like this and get bad grades. They just said, get lost. They kicked me out of school. So that's how bodybuilding became a curse. And the result is that because I never got a degree, for 20 years I worked in absolutely horrible jobs. I was directionless. Much of the time I was depressed because I never lived up to my full potential. So I worked jobs as machining, and I worked jobs as loading oak pallets. I worked all kinds of nasty jobs over the year. I spent some time in the military, and that time was worthwhile, and it taught me a lot about discipline. But at the end of the day, I worked a lot of jobs that I wasn't happy with, and I never fulfilled I never reached that level that I knew I could have reached. And that was because I blew my college years being too obsessive compulsive with bodybuilding. Now that's the curse end of bodybuilding. Hang around, because I want you to find some motivation in my story, because in 1996, or excuse me, in 2006, 2007, I was working as a machinist. It paid okay for a factory job, and I was supporting my wife and 2 kids, but the economy went in the tank and I lost my job. I got laid off. So for 8 months I sat there. I was trying to find jobs, trying to find something to do. But it was at this time that I pulled up to the computer, and I was familiar with WordPress. I've been messing with blogs for a number of years. I've been messing with writing for the last 2 or 3 years. I read like every writing book under the sun, because I was trying to write some books, some children's books for my 2 daughters. It was at that time that I decided to take things into my own hands and start a website. But at that time, I wasn't sure what type of website I wanted to start. I was tossed up, it was a coin toss between 2 of my passions: movies or independent films and muscle building. So guess what? I started both websites. I started muscleandbrawn.com, and I started a film website, an independent film website. And they were both rather directionless. I had no clue what I was really doing. And I interviewed a couple independent filmmakers, and then I got rolling with Muscle and Brawn. It was at that time that I really got my passion back for lifting. I had been lifting over the years, but I really got my passion back for lifting. And it was at that time, at my lowest, when I had no money coming in, but those unemployment checks, that Muscle and Brawn would start. I started writing for Muscle and Brawn, my own website, that I approached 2 other websites. I approached femalemuscle.com, which was a female bodybuilding site, and I approached muscleandstrength.com. I approached both of those asking if they would let me write, and guess what? They gave me opportunities. So I would get up every day and I would write for these sites. I wasn't making a lot of money, but now, between the money I was making for Female Muscle and the money I was making for Muscle and Strength, I was making as much between those 2 as I was working as a machinist. So in a matter of 6 months, I was laid off from a job, and all of a sudden here I am writing for 2 sites. Well, over the years, my relationship with Muscle and Strength developed. It developed organically. I kept writing, and they built more. We built trust, we built a relationship, and eventually I got pulled on full time with them as a contractor. I was not an employee, so I was a contracted worker with that site. And for 4 or 5 years, I wrote, I got up every day, I worked on Muscle and Brawn, I wrote articles for Muscle and Strength. Over the years, I also wrote articles for other sites like Critical Bench and a few other minor sites. But I wrote every year. Every morning I got up and wrote articles. And over the years, over this 5-6 year span, from 2007 to about 2014, I just attacked the forums. I was on the forum every day at Muscle and Brawn, almost every second, answering questions, helping people, devising workouts. When I was at Muscle and Strength, I did the same thing. I was constantly answering questions on my articles and workouts. Quite frankly, I probably answered 100,000 questions or 50,000 questions or 20,000. I don't know the numbers, and that sounds ridiculous, but every day I would answer 20, 30, 40, 50 questions. I worked my ass off to help people in this industry, not because I was trying to build a business, but because I felt like I am living the dream. I get to wake up every day and write about lifting. I get to wake up every day and help people reach their goals. I just loved what I was doing. So from 2007, where I was laid off from my job, to 2014, this just evolved into a career. Muscle and Brawn kept growing and growing and growing. It became known as one of the top strength sites on the internet. In 2013, I believe, it almost won the Powerlifting Watch Powerlifting Forum of the Year award. It was, smashed by bodybuilding.com. Bodybuilding.com folks rallied and beat us. But Muscle and Brawn evolved into one of the big names in the industry as far as powerlifting. A lot of you may never have heard of it, but we have a small, not small, moderate sized forum, but people over there are helpful. I worked my butt off to create a positive environment, and it just evolved into a quality site. But I was making a little bit of money over at Muscle and Brawn, through AdSense revenue and stuff like that. Not a lot, but it was enough to buy its own server and keep it going and keep it, in self-perpetuation mode. And then in last November, I got an opportunity. I called Chad, the CEO at Tiger Fitness, and I got an opportunity to come on board with Tiger Fitness. Now these guys are all about business, and I mean that in the best sense of the word. These guys are business savvy. They care about people, and it was a perfect fit for me. So I made the move to Ohio. I came to Mason, Ohio, starting work with the CMO, Mark Lobliner, and Chad, the CEO at Tiger Fitness. And they just said, come in, do what you do. So I came in, helped them design a website, got content moving, and got, brought over some author friends. And here I am today. When I got there, they were like, we're going to help you. We're going to work with you and help you develop your own supplement line. And you know what? Those guys, Chad and Mark, helped me at that point. They weren't just blowing smoke up my butt. These guys are sincere. These guys are legit. And that's one of the reasons why I came to work for them. But long story short, in 2007, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. I didn't know how I was going to put food on my table. And this story isn't just about me. I want to encourage you guys to get out and chase your dreams. In 2007, guys, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing, and I was panicking because I grew up in an environment where my dad was not really there, and we were poor. In 2007, I had nothing. I had no way to support my family. I had no way to support my wife, no way to support my home. I had no money at all. I had no career, no degree. And I took charge, and I just started something that I was passionate about, and that's muscleandbrawn.com. And in the last 8 years, I've worked my butt off, and I've developed it into a career. I've written over 1,000 articles. I've answered 20, 30, 40, 50,000 questions. I'm by no means a huge name in this industry, but I have a career that I'm proud of. I can wake up every day and do something I love financially because of the little extra money I make from Muscle and Brawn. And, being a editorial director at tigerfitness.com and having my book, massiveiron.com, financially, I'm better than I ever was. I'm not rich, but, I'm not in this to be rich. I get to wake up every day, do what I want to do, and I'm living the absolute dream. That's what this video is really about. I'm living the dream 8 years later. I have a career I never thought I would have. I have my own supplement line. I'm helping people every day, and that's probably the most fulfilling part of my job. I get to wake up every day and help people, and I just pinch myself every morning because bodybuilding was a curse in my life. It took me to a low point because I lost an opportunity to finish college because I was so obsessive compulsive, but it came full circle, and it brought me back to who I am today. I absolutely love my job. I love working with Tiger Fitness. I appreciate everything Mark Lobliner and Chad have done for me, and I'm in this for the long haul with these guys. And I want to give a big thanks to everybody over the years that I've worked with. I've worked with a lot of people over the years. I've gotten my car, and I've helped people with powerlifting meets. I've trained with people. I've gotten my car and helped people with bodybuilding meets. You guys have always been the top priority for me, and I've always given 150%. I sponsored athletes out of all the money I took in over Muscle and Brawn over the years went right back in sponsoring athletes. And I was never able to sponsor a lot of people, but I gave it all back. I gave almost all of it all back, except for like server costs and things like that. So guys, really the point of this video and don't click away yet. The point of this video is if you're sitting there and you're depressed and you never finished college, or you have no direction in life, you have no idea what you're going to do in life, I'm going to give you some advice. Ask you what do you love to do? What do you get up every day and look forward to doing? What is that? Whatever that is, I want you to start something today. I want you to start something today. Start a website, write a book about it, do something related to that topic. You do it for free anyways. You might as well help explore this hobby or interest and turn it into a career, or help somebody else get the most out of it. What do you like to do? What do you like to do for free? What do you like to wake up every day and do? Whatever that is, I want you to start doing it. Now, you're going to have to find time to do this, okay? You probably have a full-time job already, or you're in school or whatever. You're going to have to find time to do this. But here's what I suggest. Take that TV and toss it out the window, okay? That clears up 5, 10, 6, whatever hours a week. Take that TV and toss it out the window. Take those hours and make a YouTube video on this topic, 2 to 3, whatever topic you're exploring, 2 to 3 times a year. Help people. Even if you're not the prettiest guy, even if you're not the smartest guy, even if you're not the best YouTube personality like me, I just wake up every day and I grind it out and I try to help people the best I can. Some people like what I'm doing, some people don't like what I'm doing, but at the end of the day, I wake up every day and I'm trying to help people, and you have to find a way to help people succeed in the interest or hobby that you enjoy. So wake up every day, every week, do some YouTube videos, write some articles, start a website, take control. Take control. But here's the thing you need to remember, and this is a big take-home point of this video. I work with a lot of people, fitness models and bodybuilders and writers, and a lot of them come to me and they want to make a name. And this is the most important point, probably the most important point I will ever make in any video in this entire channel. The most important point I'll ever make in any video, and it's one thing that'll impact and change your life if you listen to me. There are many people that want to be successful, but 99% of them aren't. And here's why. They wake up and they're motivated. They're motivated to make a name for themselves, but they stop. They aren't consistent. If you want to be successful, but you don't feel like you're the prettiest or you have the best body or whatever to do whatever you want, or you're not the best in your niche, you know, if you like video games and you feel like you're not the smartest or you don't know the most, who cares? Get up every day and give what you can give. Be who you are. That is the most important thing. You must be consistent. You must be consistent. You have to remember, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. Get up every day with the right heart, the right spirit, and try to help people. Try to help people in their lives. Try to help people explore this hobby or interest. That's all. Don't wake up every day and worry about, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough on camera. Consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. The people that are consistent at anything they do are the ones that have the only hope of making anything. So if you want to change your life and you're tired of being in the muck, you're tired of doing something you don't love, find a hobby or interest you like, you look forward to doing every day, and start a website about it, write books about it, make YouTube videos about it. All 3 of those. Write articles, make YouTube videos, start a website. Do that now. Even if it's only 2 or 3 hours a week, take that 2 or 3 hours and remain consistent. Remain consistent. Get an Instagram, get a YouTube, get a Twitter, get a Facebook. Work all of those. Put your work out there. Just put it out there. Don't worry about the results. Everything from me, from 2007 to 2008 to 2015 has been consistency. Writing every day, making videos every day, answering questions every day, nonstop. And it took me from the lowest point in my life to having a dream job that 99.9% of you in fitness and nutrition and lifting would love to have. I get to get up and write every day, make workouts, help people. So, you want to change your life? Remember one thing, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. You just have to work hard and be consistent, be willing to learn. Don't down talk yourself. Don't feel like you have to be beautiful. Don't feel like you have to have the perfect body. I go against the grain in so many things in this industry. I'm 47 years old. I'm not some young kid. I'm not beautiful. I'm not shaven. I don't have a perfect tan. I'm ugly white. I'm old. I'm wrinkled. But you know what? I love what I do. And I appreciate every one of you guys that support me in this channel. It means more than anything to be able to help people. When I get emails from you guys, when I get comments from you guys, that is everything to me. So if you're down in the dumps, you're sick of your career, you're sick of your life, you're sick of your job, find something you want to do for free and go do it. But please be consistent. Please be consistent. Never quit. Never quit. Do it. You're going to do it anyway. You're going to do this anyway. You get up every day and do it anyway. Take 2, 3, 4 hours a week and turn it into something that will eventually become a full-time job. Don't quit. That's the key. Don't quit. Whatever you do, don't quit. Remember this video. If things get difficult, just watch this video and don't quit. Just remember my story. Went from 0 to at the top of the world. So guys, that's it. Here I sit today with my own supplement line. This is Huge Gainer. It's a mass gainer. It's my first product. We're also going to be coming out with a pre-workout that's going to be, these are quality products. Mark Lobliner, Chad at Tiger Fitness know what they're doing. They've helped MTS develop into a top of the, just known for its quality. Huge Gainer and the Muscle and Brawn line is going to be all about quality. This is just the first product. We're coming out with a multivitamin pack called Iron Life. We're going to be coming out with a pre-workout called Power Builder. That's going to have a couple unique ingredients in that aren't in other pre-workouts. And this is going to be all quality stuff. But I'm not here, this video isn't about selling you guys on stuff. I am just amazed that I sit here today. I mean, last night it was very emotional. Just having this, it just takes me down the road for those last, 14, almost 30 years now when I started lifting. I never thought I'd be sitting here having a successful job in the industry and with my own product line, a quality product line. I'm just overwhelmed by what the result of taking charge of my life and doing what I love. So guys, wake up right now. Just take charge, ask yourself what you would do, what you like to wake up every day and do for free, and go attack it. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed. This is the only life you got, guys. Don't waste it. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, there's a Q&A link below. Come on over, post your question in that Q&A link. I answer every question posted. And guys, if you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I would appreciate the support. If you're on Instagram, hook up with me at @BenTheBarman, @BenTheBarman. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.